Good day, guys. Today I'm not back with any tutorial video. I just want to talk over the animation I'm currently doing. Some of you are aware that I'm making an animation, a fan-made animation of Kakashi versus Sasuke. And from my video, some of you will have gotten the idea that I'm a very big Naruto fan, which is true. I love Naruto. I love everything about it. I'm still watching it even till now. I'm not a big fan of Boruto, but yeah. And some of you that watch this video might not be Naruto fans, but just love animation in general. But you already got the impression that I'm big on anime and I like making anime. So yeah. So for this time lapse, I'm just showing how I made a short 3-second clip of my fan-made animation of Kakashi performing the famous hidden leaf secret jutsu 1000 years of death. Yeah, so I'm going to incorporate it into my Sasuke versus Kakashi's animation. And yeah, the reason why I introduced this is because I wanted to add a little bit of levity to the scene. I understand that it's an intense battle scene between Kakashi and Sasuke, but then again, I'm not really Masaki Kishimoto. I don't really have to obey the constraints of following the story bit for bit, although I'm trying to make it stay as true as possible to the Naruto series, but I just wanted to deviate a little bit. Yeah, so now, I'm very well aware that a lot of you are usually interested in my process of making animation, and honestly, it's like I would actually like to share it. So guys, chill. I would actually like to share my process, but I'm more of an animator than a content maker. I wish I could be a video content maker actually, because I want to also earn that sweet YouTube money. But usually, mostly my drive for now is not really about making the money. It's just trying to get as much tutorial videos across to people as much as possible so that they can develop their animation skills, because I believe that in this life, the first thing you have to provide is service. If you identify a service that is needed in a place and you can provide that service, then naturally the money will come. Now, I understand that there are a lot of tutorial videos out there, but we all know that people have their own unique styles of learning. There are some people that will learn better from looking at my tutorial videos, and there are some of you that will look at it and will just look at it like shit. Because sometimes I can explain the obvious. Like usually when I'm doing my tutorial videos, I go into more details than I think I should actually go into. And personally, when I watch tutorial videos, I'm not really the patient type that will sit still and watch a 15 minutes tutorial videos. I just want to get to the nitty-gritty of things. So for those of you that actually sit through my videos and watch 12 minutes of it, 15 minutes of it, I'm very grateful. Now, that being said, you can see that in this time lapse, there are certain things you might want to ask, like the lines. When do you know when I'm going to use thick lines or when I'm going to use thin lines? And the truth is that one of my pet peeves with Flipaclip is that they do not have 4K resolution. And me, I want to animate my animation on 4K resolution, and that's one of the reasons why I started using Rough Animator, purely because of the resolution at first. So usually when I want to achieve something that looks like as if it is actually higher quality than it is, I like to use those thin lines. It makes it look like as if it's of a higher resolution, and that's why I choose those thin lines. Now, usually when I'm using thicker lines, is to show like a rough movement. Usually when I want the movement to appear rough than it actually is, that's when I go for thicker lines. And usually if the movement is extremely zoomed in, then I tend to use thicker and disorganized lines. But usually when I'm just doing the normal animation and everything, I love using thin lines. Now, that being said, the issue of thin lines, if you are new to Flipaclip, or if you've been using Flipaclip, you understand that thin lines means that it's difficult for you to use your bucket tool or your fill tool to fill things like the layers and everything. So you tend to have more mistakes with thinner lines. And I wish maybe Flipaclip could do something about it, such that you can fill without having those tiny gaps that you tend to see that are not filled when you're using thin lines. But sadly, that's not the case. So usually I have to reduce the tolerance of my bucket tool to like 30 or maybe 20. But normally I would have loved to have a tolerance of 70, 80, because that one tends to fill the pixels between those lines much more accurately. But when you're using thinner lines, those are the problems you encounter. So, and this is problematic because when you're using the fill tool, you have to identify those tiny gaps that are within the line. So that can be very frustrating. When I was animating this particular scene, it was very frustrating for me, looking for the gaps where the lines do not connect, so that I can connect it and use my fill tool to fill those gaps. So that's just one thing about thin lines that I don't really like. But anyway, I really love the way this animation turned out. It was nicer than I envisaged. Now I know some of you might wonder that, okay, what's the alternative if you are complaining about Flipaclip lacking thin lines and this? Well, Rough Animator is better in that regard when it comes to filling your lines, but everything has their pros and cons. And one of the reasons why most people will stick to Flipaclip, or how we stick to Flipaclip, is because of colors and blending modes. Now that blending mode is a good thing. You see this feature of blending mode, alpha lock, clip maxing, all this stuff. That really elevated this animation. Some parts of the earlier part of this animation of Sasuke versus Kakashi was done with Rough Animator, but this particular scene I decided to just try Flipaclip again and see what it will look like if I can achieve equal results. Now, what I realized is that I achieved a better result on Flipaclip. The only downside to it is the resolution and maybe timelines, affecting the timelines. On Rough Animator, you can have multiple timelines, work at multiple frame rates, but it was easy for me to also achieve that on Flipaclip by just duplicating the frames, like every individual frames. I made the overall animation run at 24 frames per second, and to achieve 12 frames per second, I duplicated every individual frames by 2. Then I let those parts that I wanted to move faster, like the impact frame, move at 24 frames per second. So that's basically it, and I was able to achieve very good results. So that's just my recap of this animation scene. So this animation took me 3 days to complete. So let that sink in. It took me 3 days to complete a 3-second animation. Animation is hard, it's not for the faint of heart, but I just pray that God gives you that endurance to be able to achieve your results. Pray to Him and God will unleash your spirit of creativity if you are consistent. So have a blessed day.
伝体術を観念殺し